Hello and welcome to Talk Tennis with Scott. I'm Scott Smith, host of the show. I'm also the executive director of Vineyard Youth Tennis. This is our first show, our inaugural show, and we hope to showcase area tennis, give you some tennis tips, a lot of action footage from the area, and so we hope you tune in for future shows. Today we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Patrick McCarthy. Patrick has recently won 2 junior tournaments in the area, and we're going to talk to Patrick a little bit about his accomplishments. How you doing, Patrick?
Good. How are you, Scott?
Good. So tell me a little bit about your tennis. How'd you get started?
Well, I first got started from playing tennis with my mom, and we've had a tennis court near our house, so we've played there for a long time.
Now, before we start talking about your tennis, I hear also that you're a little local celebrity, and you know a famous New York Yankee. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Me and my mom, it was when we were off island. My mom had a hair appointment, and I wanted to come. So we were walking across the street, and I was about to run across the street, and some guy basically picked me up and put me back on the sidewalk. And
why did he do that? Why did he do that?
Because I was about to get hit by a car.
Okay. All right.
And my mom said, "Patrick, I think that was Alex Rodriguez." And I ran up and I said, "Yeah, it was." And
so Alex Rodriguez saved you. I think it made the front page of the New York Post and CNN too.
Yes.
So I'm in awe here. I'm honored to be in your presence, Patrick. But anyway, also too, your tennis. You have a little bit of a tennis family history, doesn't your mom? Didn't she play a little bit of tennis?
Yes, she does.
What's your mother's name?
Grace Bokikio.
Grace Bokikio. So she's a tennis pro on the island. She does a lot of teaching in the area, right?
Yes.
Great. All right. So the first tournament you played, was that the one that you won, the very first one? Did you play some others before that?
I've played a couple before that.
And how'd you do in those?
I've played very good in the tournaments I've played in.
Now, how many tournaments altogether have you played in?
I'm not sure.
Like 10 or more or less?
Maybe more.
Yeah, more than 10? And you've won 2 or more?
I'm not sure. I really can't remember.
You're not keeping track of your trophies? No. Now, the last tournament you played in Rhode Island, so that was, or was that one the first one? The first one you played in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you won that one. That was the 10 and under division.
Yes.
And you played another one and you won that one again.
Yeah, that was in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, right. So you're in the 10 and under division, so you've got to play a few more tournaments to get a ranking then, right? Or
Yeah.
So you don't have a ranking yet?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
So it just feels like you're just playing these tournaments for fun then, right? All right, now what about your training? I know that you train at Vineyard Youth and you also go off island to Falmouth Sports Academy?
Yes.
So so what's your training? What are you focusing on when you're out there training?
Mostly I'm trying to get better at my one-handed backhand. Trying to get my serve in more because sometimes it's not too good.
All right. So you want to try to get a little bit more speed on your serve?
Yeah.
Now overall though, tennis related wise, what are your goals though? You're only 10 years old, so let's say when you get 15, 16, what are your goals and what are your goals after that?
When I get older, I want to become a professional tennis star.
Okay.
And just play. I don't know. What else?
A little high school tennis?
Yeah.
For the Martha's Vineyard team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know any guys on the team now that you play against?
When?
Yeah, Win Grimm?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What about your mom again? What has she taught you about tennis? I know you get out and hit with her every now and then.
Yeah, she's taught me most of the things I know about tennis.
Yeah? Now, give me some examples.
Like, she taught me, I used to have a forehand, like a slice, and she taught me to make a loop.
All right.
And hit it.
Yeah. So what other things are you doing besides tennis? Are you doing anything else to help out your tennis as far as footwork, conditioning, training, anything like that?
Not really.
No? Just you're getting enough tennis in to compensate for that.
Yeah.
Okay, what we'd like to do right now is just show a little bit of footage of Patrick hitting inside the bubble at Vineyard Youth Tennis. This is just a match that he played recently, and this is our Grand Prix circuit, which the kids play once a month. And Patrick, if you want to make a few comments on there's that loop forehand you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now one thing that stands out with Patrick, from the other kids, which I brought up, and he knows this, is he's always on his toes. He's always moving. And look at that. How did you do that?
I'm not sure. I
That's
just
pretty cool.
saw the ball out there.
But that looks like a good serve there. But Patrick always is on his toes. He's always moving, which is very important. And here's his serve there. And I think this is a pretty long rally, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is.
That is Connor you're playing. Connor's an 8-year-old future star of Vineyard Youth Tennis.
He's a good player for 8 years old.
Yep, see how high and deep those shots are?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this rally went about 20 hits, if I'm not mistaken. Good forehand there. All right, and you ended on a drop shot. Patrick got Connor on a drop shot there. So when you do your serve, are you trying to throw a little power in there and ace the guy every now and then?
Yeah. I like to be on the left side so I can go up the middle with my serve.
And what does that do? When you go up the middle, what's that do to your opponent?
Just makes him kind of get out of place, freezes him.
That limits their angles too, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they can't really hit it out wide.
There it is, same thing. All right, good. All right, Patrick, just a couple more questions. So so when you play, what's going through your mind though? Tell me a little bit about your strategy. When you're playing a kid out there, what do you think? Are you trying to get the ball back over one more time? Are you trying to overpower him? Are you trying to just to be steadier than he is?
Yeah, I'm trying to just keep it steady. I'll try to outsteady the person. I'll throw in a couple power shots every once in a while.
All right, so your philosophy is to sort of keep the ball in play longer than him.
Yes.
If you can keep the ball in play longer than him, you have a better chance of winning the point. Now what about when you play pro tennis? Who's your favorite player out there now?
I can't choose between Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal.
Now, what's the difference between those two guys, you think?
Well, Federer, of course, is #1, and Rafael Nadal is #2.
All right.
That's the difference.
What about their style of play?
Nadal's left-handed, and Federer's right-handed.
Now, Federer sort of has a little bit of old school in him. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a lot of slice backhands. He's sort of the old school. He doesn't necessarily overpower everyone like you see a lot of today's players. So you sort of model yourself after him?
Yeah, I try.
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to say regarding tennis?
I want to say how I got my one-handed backhand.
How did you get your one-handed backhand?
We went to Florida at IMG Academy.
Yep.
I had a lesson with Nick Bollettieri.
Right.
And I was hitting my two-handed backhand, which I had. And he said, do you have a one-hander? And my mom jumped in and said, yeah, I want him to try it.
Uh-huh.
And then he saw it, and he said it was really good. And he said, do you know what a shovel is? I said, yeah. He said, go to the beach, take a shovel, and bury your two-handed backhand.
Oh, I know Nick, and I've never heard him say that one. That's pretty cool. So that's how you got your one-handed backhand from the famous Nick Bollettieri.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Patrick, thanks for coming. You're our first guest on our first show. Thanks for coming. We hope to have you back again.
Okay.
Okay, what else we'd like to showcase today is recently we held an exhibition at Vineyard Youth Tennis with head tennis professional Michael Haliski playing a local teenage star over on the Cape. His name was Joe DeLinks. And we have a little bit of coverage of that match plus some local interviews and a tennis tip. So we'd like to roll that tape now. Mr. Evans.
Well, I haven't played that much, but I think I like... Well, you mean specifically here at the tennis center?
No, anywhere.
What do I like about tennis? I like the exercise you get from it.
Social aspect.
Yeah, the social aspect. It's definitely a social sport.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun anyways. You meet a lot of great people. It's a great workout.
Do you plan on trying out for the high school team?
I think I might. I'm considering it.
Did you play last year?
I didn't. This is my first year.
Okay, how long have you been, this is your first year playing? Okay, all right, thank you. And Graham here. Wynn, what do you like about tennis?
I guess it's a fun sport.
Why is it fun? Why do you like tennis so much?
I don't know. I never really thought about that.
You like the exercise, you like the social aspect, you
I
like the
guess.
camaraderie, you like the mental part of the game.
I guess all those. I've never really thought about why I like it. I just played it.
How long have you been playing?
I'd probably say since I was like 5 or so.
What's your favorite shot?
I don't know. Kick serve maybe.
Kick serve? What exactly is a kick serve for those people who are watching that do not know what a kick serve is?
It's a serve that like kicks off to the left when you're serving. It's a topspin serve. It has a lot of topspin. It just kicked off and you won't get it. It's harder to get.
Well, one of the things I love is about tennis is seeing how hard people like Andy Roddick can serve. We can serve over 100 miles per hour. I think
How
it's-
about over 150 miles an hour?
Yeah. Which is so much faster than a car. It's unbelievable.
So do you think you'll be able to serve like that one day?
No, I don't think so.
Now, what else is more important than serving fast like that?
I like getting really cool spin on the tennis ball, and I think it's really cool how some people can get so much spin that it looks like it's going one direction, then all of a sudden it goes the other way.
What do you plan on doing with your tennis? You plan on playing a little high school tennis or what?
Yeah, I plan on playing high school tennis.
What else? You ever get out and play with your parents?
Yeah, sometimes I play with my mom on Sundays.
You beat them?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you learned since you've been taking lessons here at the Bubble?
I learned a lot. I've been here for a really long time. Basically, my overhead scissors kick, about inside out forehand, inside out volleys, about everything.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say to everyone out there in TV land about the game of tennis?
Well, I would say that it's really hard at the beginning, but once you just stick with it and keep playing, you'll really pay off. And tennis is a really great sport.
I like two stuff. One is about jump rope.
You like jumping rope?
Yeah, because when it's like this, I have a lot of space.
Yeah.
And because you can jump a lot.
Yeah. And what?
My second one is because doing some games that I like, because some games that I don't know that people ask.
Yeah.
Is I
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Smith here again, ready for your next tennis tip.
Please tap.
Today's tennis tip is the slice backhand. The slice backhand is very prevalent amongst a lot of the adult players as well as the kids also. The first thing you have to remember on a slice backhand is to get your continental grip. The continental grip, I'll zoom down, the continental grip is when your hand is on top of the racket, where basically your racket is an extension of your arm. This will keep the racket face in the correct angle when you hit the ball. As far as the slice backhand goes, make sure you start off in the ready position. Turn your shoulders, having your racket above your left shoulder. Making sure you step forward before contact. Racket is moving slightly downward, making contact, and forward. Also, make sure that your left arm extends back when you hit the slice backhand. I'll demonstrate one. So when I extend my left arm back, the balance is kept. When I follow through out towards the target, I'm basically following through out towards a straight line. Okay, we're here in the bubble with 3 of our future tennis stars. I'd like for them to state their name for the television audience. Joseph, last name? Patrick what?
I don't have to.
You don't have
Patrick,
a last name.
come on.
Veronica?
Yeah, Veronica's Page Way.
Veronica Page Way?
What?
When? Okay, all right. I'm going to first interview Mr. Joseph Surface. Joseph, what do you like about tennis?
Just like that is not like
You like playing ball, hitting balls and doing different games? What about you, Patrick? What's your favorite thing? Look into the camera and tell them.